Hello there everybody, Sam'sTrains here, welcome back to the railway and welcome back to another live stream. So yes, this is going to be stream 4 of 5, next week is the final stream and I can't believe that, it's pretty crazy that the final stream is almost upon us already, but we're not bothered about that today. Today is a stream on its own and we've got next stream, so we're not at the end just yet. But before I start talking about today's show, I wanted to talk about something quite special because today is actually quite a special day for the channel itself. And actually this morning, amazingly, I actually managed to hit 20,000 subscribers. And I say I really mean we, because I couldn't do this on my own. So it's definitely a we, it's definitely something that you guys and me have done together. So thank you all so much for 20,000 subscribers. I never dreamt that we would get that far. And certainly it was only this morning that I realised that we actually would do it. So thank you all for that. Now today's stream isn't actually going to be the 20,000 subscriber stream because it only happened this morning, and obviously I like to plan these streams a little bit in advance, and there wasn't really time to change what I'd already got planned this morning when it came along. But actually that's quite good because it means that we have a week to prepare for it, and I say we because I want you guys to get involved with my 20,000 subscriber stream. So if you want to create anything for the 20k party or celebration, if you want to create some artwork or send a letter or do whatever, you can email it to me at samstrains@outlook.com. The description is below. You've got a week to do it, and anything I get I will show during the live stream, and we'll have a little bit of a celebration for 20,000 subscribers. But for today, I'm not going to be doing 20k I'm not going to be doing a celebration, but I will just want to say thank you. So I'm just going to double check that everybody's okay. I'll say hello to everybody. I'm just going to double check that the sync is okay. Let me have a look. Is it a little bit out of sync? It's not too bad, is it? I think I'll leave it on that right now because I don't want to make it worse, and if I'm fiddling with the computer it's not too great. So anyway, I hope everybody's doing well. I'm going to catch up with all of you guys later on, and I've left myself with plenty of time to spare in this stream so that I have got time to pay some attention to everybody that's in the chat, because that's the most important thing, everybody. Now, someone sent a super chat. It was David Smith, so thank you very much, David, for sending that. I really appreciate that. Thank you for all the support. And in fact, there were a couple of super chats that have come in already, so I better say who those were very briefly, and I will thank you all better later on. But we've already had super chats from Shine Ortis, Ollie Turf 26 and David Smith, so thank you to everybody who sent me those. That's very kind of you. So let's talk about this then. First of all then, as I always do, let's thank all of last week's super chats. So a massive thank you to all of these people: Dotcan Pilot, Aidan Lido, The Ugly Duckman, Jake Darling, K Van Cullen, Lee Molson, Sonic Crafter, #Speedcraft, Taggart 00, Tom Jensen, Ollie Turf 26, Camille's Model Railway, Charles Curtis, Jeremy Nickins, Maverick Hicks, Nirate Goal, and also a massive shout out to Mangle, who was trying to get in touch with me. Apparently he was trying to send me a photo to put in on the Wall of Fame, but I didn't manage to get it. So anyway, if I don't get the photo, sorry about that, Mangle, but there's a shout out for you anyway. And also a massive shout out to everybody who's been at the Severn Valley Railway Gala today. Hope you all had a good time. A lot of people have been talking about that, so I think a lot of people were out there. Now, there's been a bit of a problem with the super chats. All of last week's super chats are not showing on my super chat list, so I actually had to go through the show and listen to find out what people requested. So if I've missed somebody, I do apologise, but there are 3 requests I've got to do. So what I'm going to do today is Camille's Model Railway, who asked to see the BR Blue A4 Golden Eagle, plus some Pullman coaches. Jamie wanted to see the S15 and the schools class double heading, which should be fun. And then recently, this is just today this came in, Shine Ortis sent a request to see the Bachman Thomas running with the Railway Children coaches. So that's absolutely fine. I will be doing that. Everybody who sent super chats already has been entered to win their very own Bullman, and there he is there. This particular Bullman is called Bilious, and whoever wins him will get this certificate. So if you want to send me a super chat, first of all, thank you so much. That will really support the channel, and obviously you can do that by just clicking on the $, which is down there in the chat. If you want to send me a super chat, of course you will get a massive shout out. out and you'll have my thanks, because it's really the super chats at this time of year which keep this channel going. So if you enjoyed the channel, obviously please don't feel that you have to do this, but if you want to support the channel, if it's something you've watched a lot and you'd like to see it go on a few more years, then you can feel free to send a super chat and I'll be massively grateful, and you'll be you know, safe in the knowledge that you're helping to keep this channel alive. And also, if you want to send a super chat of £5, $5, €5 or whatever or more, you can have your very own request run on the railway, as I've just been reading out. Just include what loco you'd like me to run and what rolling stock if you like as well, and I will do that as soon as I can. So let's get started with that then. Let me show you these requests. So there we go. So thank you very much to Camille, who asked to see the BR Blue, sorry, A4 Golden Eagle. I always love it when people ask to see that one run because she's just beautiful. So she's got some Pullman coaches. Let me show you that. Let me bring her into the shot. So, yeah, there she is, obviously, with the Pullman coaches. And also then on the middle line, this was Jamie's request. For some reason, this didn't come through until just a few days ago, but luckily I saw it. So, yeah, it's the schools class and the S15. I thought it would be nice to run both the BR Black versions. The front bogie of my S15 actually collapsed when I was getting this sorted, so I've had to glue it back together. Hopefully it will stay glued together. If it doesn't and it derails, I might have to emergency stop that one. But for the time being, I think it's okay. And then finally, Shine Ortis's request to see Thomas with the Bachmann Railway Children coaches, and I think that's a really cool idea, so thank you very much for that. There we go. Okay, let's have a little running session with these then. And I didn't really mention, did I, what I'm going to be doing in today's show. So today's show is going to be really just a casual show. I'm going to be running some locos. Well, I've started already. I'm going to be running some vintage locos. You can see them there in the background, but that isn't going to take very long. So as I say, hopefully we'll be left with some time to do some fun stuff and just chat and things. I've just noticed that the schools class is making a very unhealthy noise, so shall we follow that one round? Now, last time Thomas ran down that straight, he got caught, so let's hope he doesn't get caught again. Although that was the Hornby one, I think. No, seems to have done it okay. Yeah, the schools class seems to have shut up a bit now, but it was making a lot of noise. Can't tell whether that S15 has derailed. Does the front bogie look alright to everybody? I thought I could have sworn I heard it derail, but it could have just been, yeah, it has derailed, I'm sure it has. Let's take a look. Now, it isn't going to be to do with the front bogie, this. It doesn't look like the front bogie, oh dear, yeah, let's stop it. Yeah, it doesn't look like the front bogie's fallen apart again, it just looks as though it's derailed, because the schools class is actually quite a lot faster than the S15, and so basically what that means is the schools class is pulling it along, and basically it's pulling the front bogie of the S15 up off the track. So I'm just going to try and put it back onto the track, and all being well, I'll try and get another lap out of it. Might be easier said than done, but we'll try and get another lap out of it. There we go. Yeah, that's the problem with some Hornby engines, they run at different speeds. There we go. Let's see if that's a bit better. Hopefully it will be. Sorry about that. That got pretty dramatic pretty quickly, didn't it, today? That's why I was keeping it slow as well, by the way. I don't know if you noticed. There goes the A4. Let's follow the A4 around a little bit, shall we? Because she's just fantastic. There goes Thomas. That's the Bachmann Thomas, who's actually the smoothest of the Bachmann locos, I think. It really is good. There it is. There's the A4, sorry, I just went, there it is, I don't know what that means. That's the A4. And I think that will probably go down then as my single most requested loco on the live streams. I must have done her 2 or 3 times on request. And people seem to love her, and obviously I can see why, but yeah, she's gorgeous. Here she comes now, and I've just realised that the schools class and the S15 are really, really crawling along slowly. I must have been a bit too cautious, I think. But yeah, if I just switch to this camera here, you can see just how slowly they're going. I think that's better to be safe than sorry, but what I'll do is I'll stick the cameras back over there and we'll watch them go down the main straight. And with a bit of luck, they won't come off this time. They did derail, when I was testing this, I always test these things. When I was testing it, they did derail the first lap, but I put it back on. I thought, well, maybe I didn't put her on the track properly. So she didn't do it on the second lap, so I thought it was okay, but obviously that isn't true. Watch closely then, let's see. I don't know, you know, I can't tell. But I suppose when if she drops off the track again, we will tell. But it'll be time to stop her anyway, so let's watch them crawl down to the front. Again, I can't hear any problems, but I better go down there and see if there is one. Okay, and the A4's just going by actually, so I think I might just stop her in her tracks, literally. Let me bring her back. No, it sounds like the S15 is okay. Don't hold me to that, we'll have a look when she gets in. Oh no, she is off. You see, shouldn't have held that to me. Right, yeah, so definitely a bit of an issue double heading there. I don't think it's going to be an issue normally double heading with the S15. It's just because the schools class is quite a bit quicker, and as I say, it's just putting too much pressure on. So yeah, we'll give that one up as a bad job, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually clear off some of these locos and things so that they're not in the way for later on. So if you'll bear with me for just a second, I'm going to take these off, and then we can run some vintage locos later on. And obviously if anybody else has got some requests that they want me to run later on, I'll be able to do them. But yeah, unfortunately today I have got to rootle around on the floor and take some stuff off, but it should only take a second, so let's sort that out. Let me just reverse the A4 back a touch further. There we go, and again, thank you to Camille especially for this, because I love running the A4. I hope this loco isn't going to get worn out, because she's actually done loads of running on my streams. I don't know how many times it is, but it's definitely more than twice. People always pick her, and considering I've got over 300 engines, it's quite impressive that she's been picked so many times. So yeah, she must be a favourite. She must be a favourite. Okay, so there we go. That is the track cleared, hopefully. Thank you very much for those requests. That was fantastic. As I always say, I love running requests, because it's just, it takes the pressure off me having to decide things. Okay, so let's have a little bit of a chat then. Let's see what you guys have been up to. A lot of people have been asking about the snow. Yes, we've had a lot of snow this weekend. It's been pretty rough, actually. We thought we'd had it for the snow. We thought the snow was all over. But yet, it's been coming back, and we've had some more. So anyway, a few more super chats to say thank you to. So Luke Jones sent me a £5. He hasn't left a request or anything, but thank you, Luke, for the support anyway. And Rob Humphreys says, hey Sam, can you please run Tornado, King Edward II and a B12, as my son Oliver saw them at the SVR this weekend and would love to see you run them, with a shout out. So yes, of course you can, Rob. I won't be able to do all three, but I will. I guess you want me to pick one, or I could do a double header with them maybe, but I'll deal with that later on. So thank you very much. And also Nirate Goal sent me one as well, saying, can I get the the Gloss A1 wool winder with some Southern coaches, banked by a green Great Western 14XX. Oh, that's a good idea. Yes, I'll be able to do that. Thank you very much for the great idea. But now, okay, let's just find out how everybody's doing. So send me some messages in the chat, and I'll try and get back to some. Let me know. Also, we're gonna start on the subject of vintage locomotives. So if you've got any vintage locomotives that you want to talk about, or you want to bring up, or if you want to tell me what your favourite vintage locomotives are, do let me know, and we'll talk about those. So Shine Ortis has said, this may be a dumb question, but does the Bullman contest also apply to folks from the United States, where I call home? Yes, you can enter from anywhere around the world. I have posted some competition prizes to the United States before, and it got there pretty quick actually, so there isn't a problem. So yeah, if you want to enter from the US, you can do. All you've got to do is send a super chat, and you'll be entered automatically. Is the camera looking a little bit overexposed? I seem to be looking a bit too bright. Shall I fix that? Oh, I've never had to mess around with the camera on a stream before. See if I can fix this. I'm sorry about that. I'm just sitting there thinking it looks a bit overexposed, so let's fix that. Lee Molson has just sent a super chat saying, congrats on 20k. Thank you so much, Lee. That's really, really kind of you. Thank you for the support. And Sideways 1011, what is he talking in binary? Let me try and get this. It's Sideways 101100 has sent a super chat saying, hey Sam, could you run Percy with a mix of 3 or 4 small coaches with an LMS brake van on the back? Yes, that's fine. Thank you very much. I will try and get around to that today. And if anyone else has got some requests, feel free to send in super chats for them, and I'm going to be on the ball today. I'm going to get a lot of them done. William Lexstag says, shout out please. I can't pronounce your second name. I shouldn't have tried actually. It's probably a bit offensive to have tried, but thank you very much for getting in touch. President Grant said, your face is shining. Yeah, hopefully it's not shining now, as it toned down a little bit. I had the camera on a bit too high. Actually, what happened was, when I was testing for this stream, I was wearing quite dark clothes. I was wearing a dark jumper, and now I'm wearing a light grey shirt. It's all sort of overexposed, so yeah, I've had to turn it down. William Town says, I have an old Rivarossi Trix BR18 locomotive. Okay, that sounds interesting. I don't think I've seen one of those before. Or, well, the name doesn't ring a bell. Anyway. Jana McIntyre says, hi Sam, the Imperial Diamond Spinosaurus sent me a super chat saying, I'm the Diamond Spinosaurus. Congrats on 20k. Thank you so much. There seems to be a lot of 20k super chats coming in today, so thank you for that. I really do appreciate it. And of course, if you don't want to send a super chat, that's absolutely fine. Just being here watching and being one of my 20,000 subscribers is enough. You know, it really is. I do appreciate it. I don't probably say that as much as I ought to, but it's true, I do. So Max's Model Railway says, hi Sam, I was wondering if you thought of doing a session of kit making or kit building in the future. Well, to be honest with you, I'm not very good at building kits. I don't mind having a go. I did build, well, most of the buildings on my layout were actually kits. Technically, most of them I printed off from Wordsworth Model Railways, and I built those, and the crane there that you can see turning around is one that I designed myself. It's not exactly, well, it's not exactly realistic, is it? But I did have fun designing it, so I know why you're asking. I know it is fun. So yeah, if you guys want me to try some kits, I'm not going to say I'm going to be any good at them. If you want me to try some, then sure, I will do. Northern Soul Express, I think his name's Callum, sent me a super chat. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. And of course, all of you guys who I've just mentioned are going to be entered to win a Bullman. Lucky you. I don't know if that's good news or not, but if you win one, well, I guess you'll have to decide. Die Grun E2 Locomotive says, can I have a shout out, please? Again, sorry if I didn't pronounce your channel name right, but of course you can. There you go. Gallium Gamer says, my locomotives are mostly from the 1990s. Okay, yeah, I will consider that vintage, I think. I know I've got quite a few from the 90s as well. That was the quality era. You get a lot of quality locos from there. George Cole says, hi Sam, congrats on the 20k. Thank you very much, George, and thank you to everyone who's wishing me congratulations on that. Although, again, congratulations to you guys, because you're the people who did it. You know, I just put out videos. You are the people that subscribe to them. So it's really your celebration rather than mine, but hey ho. Zane Hack says, shout out, there you go. Sam'sTrains says, any second-hand shop recommendations? Also, congrats on 20k. No, to be honest, when I buy second-hand, it's normally always from a train fair, eBay, or Rails or Sheffield or something like that, or Hatton's, I suppose. I don't normally go to shops because I tend to find that they're a bit overpriced. Oh, Laserjet has just sent me a big super chat. Thank you very much, Laserjet. He says, one YouTuber to another, my friend. That's very kind of you. Thank you very much. Yes, that's very, very kind of you. Thank you. Flying Scotsman Productions says, oh, I don't know what he means by oh, but there we go. Matthew Ford says, some Big 4 running. Yes, that would be nice. Actually, I've been wanting to do a Big 4 running session for a while, but obviously to get all of the Big 4 running in a running session would mean quite a lot of locos running. So yeah, I could bring back the big running sessions and try that one day. That's a good idea. So yeah, I'll try that one time. Cameron Ingram says, shout out, there you go. William Town says, have you any experience with Marklin? No, not really. I've got two wagons, two pieces of rolling stock which are Marklin, and that's all. So not a lot of experience with Marklin, but just a little bit. And GWR Will says, my favourite details loco is the Bachmann 56XX. Okay, that sounds good. I don't think I've got a Bachmann 56XX, but they do look nice. I'd love to get one, actually. Trainee IVAT driver says, my little sister says hi. Hi, it's good to know that you're trying to get your little sister into the hobby as well. I tried with mine, it doesn't work, but good luck to you anyway. And Twisted Drum Production says, can you please run the Barclay 040? Sure, if you want to send me a super chat for it, I've got her over there on the shelf, so sure, if anyone wants to see her run, you can feel free to send a super chat to me. And one more then. The Ugly Duckman has just sent me a super chat saying, congrats on 20k Sam, I've been out on a steam run all day, so to recreate it, can you please run the Fairburn tank with a few blood and custard coaches? Alright, that sounds awesome. Thank you very much for the support, Ugly Duckman, and yes, as long as I get time, I will try and do that for you tonight. So thank you to everyone who's getting in touch with the chat. I'm going to do more of that later on, so keep going with the chat. And we'll have 10 minutes later on to see how you guys are going on. But for now then, let's have a look at some of the stuff. Well, actually no. Let's get on to the Wall of Fame. I didn't get a massive amount of Wall of Fame stuff this week, so I'm going to do it all in one go. Again, if you're someone who sent some and I didn't get it for some reason, I do apologise. I tried to reply to everybody that sends them in, but if you go to the junk folder or if it gets listed as spam, then I might not get it, and obviously I won't know that you've tried to send it. But if you do send a Wall of Fame photo, either on email or via Facebook, make sure you say that it's for the Wall of Fame, because sometimes people just send me pictures and I don't know whether it's for the wall or not. But anyway, here's one then from Aran V. This looks like an Indian locomotive. I'm going to guess that it's Indian. I don't know if I'm just assuming that and it's wrong, but it looks, well, it doesn't look American and it certainly doesn't look British. So I'm going to guess that it's Indian, but I guess there are people out there who know that better than I would. Then this is a really nice one from Tim C. I don't know what the occasion was for this, but I think they are real. They're not models, but it's 4 engines. I would say they're Great Western engines at a glance, with an 08 on the end. They're all lined up just outside the sheds, and that looks fantastic. So thank you, Tim, for sending in that. That's going to look great on the wall. Lucas sent a couple of his locos. These are either Wren or Hornby Dublo. A couple of them there from Lucas. I've got the same ones down here next to me. You can see the standard tank there. I think it's a standard 4, Wren 1. Pull it out, there you go. And then there's also the Duchess of Hamilton, I think it is. Mine is Stoke-on-Trent, but it's the same kind of loco. So there it is, there's Lucas's. Thank you very much for sending those, Lucas, that's awesome. And then this was cool, this was a bit of artwork from Dylan, who sent, it looks like an A4. In fact, he sent a couple of these. I can't remember what the other one was now, but I picked the Mallard because it looked awesome. But there we go, a bit of pixel art there, I really like that. And then Ethan sent me a picture of this, which is Morning Star. So I guess is that going to be a star class? Or I suppose, well, really, you never know, do you? Because the GWR had some funny naming going on. But I'm going to guess that it's a star class. Looks like one. Well, in fact, no, it looks... I would have said it's a King, but it hasn't got the funny front bogey. I can't really tell the difference between most of the Great Western 460s. And then Paul sent in this, Paul L. Golden Arrow, beautiful Bullied Pacific there. I think it is. Yeah, it's a Bullied Pacific. Absolutely beautiful. So thank you very much for sending in that, Paul. I love the look of that, and I've got loads of Bullied Pacifics up on the wall, so she will fit in perfectly on there, I'm sure. Okay, let's take a look then at what I'm going to be showing you today. So as I said, I'm going to be running some vintage locomotives. Well, I've called them classics in the title, but yeah, they're really going to be vintage. I've got a couple of them there, and then if you look at the back of the screen, you can see there's another parked at the back. I won't give away which one that is yet, although if you've seen the thumbnail, you'll know. So the first one I'm going to get out is the Princess, and I'm just excuse me a second while I open up some points. I'm opening up some points so that I can get her out. So she is going to actually run on the middle line, I think, today. So let me give you a little bit of info on the Princess before I start off. So I'm talking about the model here, not the actual class in real life, but these were actually first introduced in 1955, I think it was. Of course, in those days, I think it was called Rovex rather than Triang when they first brought out the Princess. And actually the design was quite different to the one you see here. It was in BR black to begin with. It wasn't in maroon, as that one is. It had plungers rather than pickups, and these plungers actually stuck out the bottom of the locomotive and they touched the tracks and picked up power that way. It must have caused a lot of friction, that must have, but apparently it did work. Goodness knows how it worked, but apparently it did. Here she goes now, she's making her way down to the front of the room. There we go. And of course then Triang became, well, Rovex became Triang. And Triang continued to produce these, and they updated them to have pickups like this one does, and they eventually brought out a maroon version, and this is the maroon version, as you can see. I reckon this one must be dated around 1962. I think they did do some earlier maroon ones. I'm glad she's still there because I can change the points. I think they did do an earlier maroon version, but those ones had the thicker wheels, which don't deal very well with modern points, and these have the slightly later ones. So I think this one was made in 1962, but you can do the maths on that. It's quite a lot of years old now, and as you can see, apart from a little bit of stuttering on the express points, she does absolutely fine. Let's bring her out onto the inside line. The only downside is they're quite noisy, of course, and personally I quite like the noise, but I suppose for live streams it's not absolutely convenient because it is a little bit distracting. I don't know how noisy it comes across really on the mic, but yeah, anyway, there we are. She's in position. That is the Princess, and yes, very lovely. That was, incidentally, the Princess was the first Triang loco ever to be produced. As I say, it changed a lot over the years, but yes, the Princess was the very first. Okay, so the next one is going to be the Flying Scotsman, and this is an interesting one because when you think of the Triang Flying Scotsman, well, when I think of the Triang Flying Scotsman, I always think of it being in LNER apple green, but actually they didn't start off producing the apple green one. They started off producing this one, which is in the BR green. So this is the earliest version. They released this quite a bit later than the Princess. This was in 1968. It wasn't until later, as I say, that the LNER was introduced, and Hornby and Triang did that towards the start. When they first created locomotives, they produced current locomotives in their current states, so they're all in BR liveries, and it took them quite a few years to start doing some older liveries. You know, they'd been going for many years before they, you know, even started modelling some older liveries. So it's quite interesting that, because obviously these days, no locomotive, well, no steam locomotive is modern that Hornby produces. So, apart from Tornado, I suppose, but all of them are from yesteryear. So it's different. But in those days, of course, in 1955, there were still a lot of steam locos running on British railways, and so Triang only modelled those. And I think you'll find that all of the early liveries that Triang produced anyway were all contemporary ones for the time, so it's very interesting. But I quite like her. She's beautiful in the BR green, as you can see. And she's got some of the early Triang coaches as well, which I think, I'm told, look most like Thompson coaches because of the oval windows, although they're not spot on, but you know, they never were designed to be realistic. Okay, let me bring her across these points. Oops, she's stopped again. But the points are already set, so we can keep her going. Okay, so that's the Flying Scotsman, and the exciting feature on this one is that she's actually got a light-up firebox. I'm not going to be able to show this probably, although you might catch a glimpse of it while she's running. But the little firebox, obviously where the fire goes inside the loco, does light up when you power her up. So there we go, that's it. That's two of the three Triang locos that I'm going to be running for you today. And the third one is just out of shot, so if I turn the camera around, hopefully you'll be able to see it. It's this one, it's Britannia. So I'll get Britannia out. Just open that point and give her some juice. Now this is Britannia. I do have a couple of them. The other one isn't Britannia, I don't think. But yeah, this one's got, has this one got a smoke generator? I think they mostly were fitted with smoke generators when they were new, but I have a feeling I might have taken the one out of this one. But anyway, let's have a bit of a running session, and when I get back to my chair, I'll give you the dates for the Britannia. Go on, Princess, forwards you go. Just have to hope now that all of the points are set properly, otherwise we'll have a bit of an accident. But no, I think all the points are fine. So Britannia then was introduced a little bit later, well, not that much later, but well, a little bit later than the Princess, in 1960 I think it was. And I think this one, hang on a minute, I think this one was released in 1963, yeah, there we go, but it was first released in 1960. And again, the first versions had the blocky wheels, which weren't very good on modern track, which is why I think it was that one. But yeah, I think mine's a little bit later, but very nice she is too. And of course, as you can tell there, she's got some chocolate and cream coaches, which I love to see. So there she goes. That is three vintage locos for you. Let's take a look at the Flying Scotsman as she goes round. You should see her in just a second coming underneath you. And I know I've had some more super chats come in today, so thank you all for those. As soon as I've gotten these, well, as soon as I've brought them to a stop, I will go through those and thank you all individually. But thank you all anyway, and I haven't forgotten you. I will thank you all in a second. Let's wait for, hopefully we'll get the Flying Scotsman and Britannia going past each other at some point, but not just yet. So let me know which is your favourite of these three. I think for me it's got to be the Flying Scotsman. Look at that. Absolutely fantastic. But I think the Princess looks pretty good in the maroon. And actually the maroon is not the most common livery of those Triang Pacifics. Definitely the most common was the black version. They also did a green if anybody's interested. They did a BR green one. I don't think Triang actually did any LMS liveries, which again is what I was saying. They didn't seem to do the old-fashioned liveries until a lot later. And then when they became Hornby, it was really the Hornby era where they started being called well, where they started being produced in the sort of pre-grouping liveries and big 4 liveries. So yeah, very unusual that. I mean, I don't know why they never did the older liveries, and I don't know why they suddenly decided to do some of the later liveries. I don't know, but anyway, that's what happened. Anyway, let me bring those to a stop. Hopefully you enjoyed seeing those. The reason I've done this is because I tend not to run the vintage locos. I don't know that they're any less popular, because every time I run them, people seem to really like them. But for some reason, I find myself running a lot more modern locos. But really my interest is more within this region. You know, I prefer these old-fashioned ones. Whoa, stop those. I think that's mostly because they're robust. They run perfectly. You can't break them, even if you try. I don't think I've ever dropped one. I dropped a tender once on the live stream. But to be honest with you, they are solid as a rock, and it takes a lot to damage them. And for me, certainly starting off in the hobby, it was great just to be able to take those apart and service the motors and, you know, take them to tiny little pieces. And, you know, they're so difficult to damage when you're doing things like that. It's just great to learn. So if you want to learn more about servicing and things, buy an old Triang loco. You can pick up one of those princesses for probably about 20 quid. I've definitely paid 20 quid for them before. In fact, I've paid, I think, a tenner, something like that, for the whole train set. It's back there, you won't be able to see it, but it was an R3A train set, I think it was. It came with a princess, 2 coaches, some track. It's all very old fashioned, but for 10 quid it was amazing at the time. I paid quite a bit of postage, I think, but no, it was great. Anyway, what I'm going to do then is I'm going to get some of the next super chats ready. That's requests, by the way. So we'll go for a little bit of a break, but first of all, I'm going to go through and thank everybody that I haven't seen yet. So I thanked LaserJet, Northern Soul Express, the Ugly Duckman. Let's see, yes, he sent one in. So since the Ugly Duckman, it was Bruce B303. Thank you very much, Bruce. That's very, very kind of you. He says, keep up the good work, Sam. Would you recommend Hornby and Bachmann? What would you recommend for Hornby and Bachmann spare parts? Well, really, contact Hornby and contact Bachmann. They're good for producing and selling spare parts. Failing that, if you need something that's a little bit older or something that they can't help you with, take a look at Peter's Spares. Do a little Google search for Peter's Spares, and normally, you know, that's a good place to go for parts. TrainFan28 also sent one, and Tom Jensen says, hi Sam, loving the show as always, mate. Thank you very much, Tom, and to everybody, including Tom and everyone else, thank you for all your support. That's really, really kind of you. Okay, so let's figure out what I need to do next then. Let's go back to the start of today, March the 18th. Blimey, there's been a lot of people. Okay. So I'm looking for people. If you want to send a request, by the way, it has to be £5 or $5 or more. I know that's a little bit grabby, it's a little bit money hungry of me, but really the purpose of that is just so that I don't have too many to do, because I only have time to do a certain amount. So thank you to everybody who has sent those. Let me find out. Right, so the first one I think is going to be UFG2036, who wants to see me double head Spencer and Silver Link. Now I don't know whether Spencer has got a front coupling. Shall I go and have a look? I'll go and grab Spencer and we'll find out. Problem is, if he hasn't got a front coupling, I won't be able to do it, but I have a feeling he might. Oh, he does. Yes, he does. Let me grab him for you. We'll show you old Spencer. Come on, Spencer. His tender's not attached to him, so I'll have to find that. But yes, he's got a front coupling, so that should be okay. There we go. There's Spencer, and yes, he's got his front coupling, so I can double head Spencer. So let me find out who wanted that. So that was UFG2036, Spencer and Silverlink. Oh, he's not giving me any rolling stock to run with that one, so I'll have to decide. I suppose the Pullman coaches would be the obvious choice for that one. So Rob Humphreys, I'll put Rob H just to be quick, wants to see Tornado, King Edward, and the B12. Okay, so yeah, that's a little bit tricky. What I could do is put Tornado and the B12 together, if that would be okay for you. Yeah, I'll do that. So Tornado plus a B12. I think I've got a B12 that's got a front coupling on it. I hope so. And I think the B12 that is in preservation is in LNER green, isn't it? So I'll try and run the LNER green one. Yes, I've got an LNER green one. Have I? Yeah, I have. I'm just trying to think if the one that isn't DCC fitted has got a front coupling. I'll worry about that later on. So Tornado and B12 will try that. If not, I'll run one of my BR Black B12s, or maybe the blue one. That would be interesting. And finally then, 3 out of 3. I can only do 3 at a time, of course. Nirate Goal. He wants to see some, oh, this was an interesting one. So he wants to see the wool winder, which is the A1 that has got the gloss livery, which I went crazy about in the review. I love that gloss. With some Southern coaches, green Southern coaches, banked by a 14XX, and that's the little tank engine that everybody loves, which is Oliver's basis, I think. So anyway, that's the first three. I'm going to go for a little bit of a break then. I'll deal with those, put them on. I'll only be 5 minutes, so you know, go ahead, as I always say, go and get yourself a cup of tea or something like that. Put your feet up, and I'll be back in just a few, so don't go anywhere. Thank you all for your support. I really do appreciate it, and I'll be right back in just a few minutes with some of those requests. All right, I'll be right back. Okay folks, welcome back. Blimey, sorry about that. That did take a little bit of time. You gave me some real challenges there. So anyway, welcome back. You've only just joined. We've had a bit of a good chat today. We've just been chatting, running some vintage locos, running some requests. It's been good fun actually. I've enjoyed it so far. I hope you have as well. Then we've got some more requests, and my goodness me, that is very much overexposed. Let me go and wave my hand in front of that camera. I know that sounds like a strange thing to do, but hopefully that will fix it. Is that any better? I don't know, it seems to be a bit weird that. So for some reason we've got a massively overexposed camera there, don't know what's going on, but hopefully you can see what's cracking off anyway. So we've got Spencer and the Silver Link there. Let me go and point just in case anybody's not familiar with these. So we've got Spencer and Silver Link. Double heading. Luckily we could do that because Spencer's got a front coupling. Now I've got Tornado and the B12 here, double heading. Now obviously I think you would have wanted the green B12, but the problem is the two green B12s I've got, one of them is a modern Hornby one, and it doesn't have a front coupling fitted, so I couldn't do that today because I've not got any couplings to hand, and I didn't want to be fiddling around trying to put a coupling on it. And the other one is DCC fitted, and I don't know whether that one, has it got, I think yes, it has got a front coupling, but it's DCC fitted, and my Tornadoes aren't anymore. So yeah, that's that. Then also the green Tornado actually is DCC fitted, so I could have done that, but I haven't got my DCC system on. So I've put the BR Blue Tornado on there, and then we've got the wool winder, which is, if I do this, is a bit naughty. You shouldn't really do this, but if I pull her along. Shin shot there, just about. That is the glossy A1, which is absolutely gorgeous. And as promised at the back, there's a little 14XX, and yes, she's got Southern coaches. So shall we get these running then? I've not had a chance to test this, and normally double headers have a little bit of a problem when you, well, if you don't test them to start with. But let's see what happens. I might have to just keep them steady. And that didn't seem good. Did you see that? Something got caught. It might have just been me being a little bit over cautious, but let's try that again. I think we're okay. Touch wood, I think we're okay. Then the B12 and the Tornado. Yeah, they seem to be fairly well matched in terms of speed, but again, I'll keep them steady just in case. And then we've got the wool winder and the 14XX, and the 14XX is actually pushing wool winder quite heavily up the behind. And the good news is this camera seems to have stopped messing me around, so that's good. Would anyone mind letting me know, is the synchronization okay? And yeah, I think that's all I wanted to know. Is the sync okay? You won't know. Let me show you my face. Testing, testing, testing. Is that better? Is that all right? I don't know. I'm just a bit pedantic about this, to be honest. Oh, you won't be able to see anything there. Let me show you that shot. So there go the two A4s. I don't think Spencer and Silverlink have ever double headed before on my channel, so that's quite exciting. They seem to be doing it quite reliably. I can't hear any rattling, which means probably they haven't derailed. Shouldn't say things like that. I know that's tempting fate. And then hopefully you'll see the wool winder with the 14XX on the behind, which is called banking. Banking is just where you put an engine at the back of a train for it to push. I think it's also called a helper sometimes as well. And let's bring down to the front. Anything at the front? No, not yet. Let's go back behind the bookcase then, because we've got the Tornado and the B12. So thank you very much to Rob Humphreys for asking for that one. I think it was Rob, yeah. UFG 2036 asked for Spencer and Silverlink. And finally, Nirate Goel asked for the wool winder, of course. So thank you all for those. That was their fantastic requests. Very tricky, and it's going to take me a while to get those off. because yeah, double headers. But I'll manage it. You know, it's not a problem. Let's have another look at good old Spencer and the Silverlink. Now, it does look a little bit unhealthy, I'll admit, but it's only because I've purposely kept them nice and slow, because no one wants to see A4s come off the track. So yeah, that's the reason behind that. But really, they seem quite happy together. Although Spencer's got quite a nasty view of Silverlink's backside there, hasn't he? And his eyes seem to be shifting side to side. But I've noticed he always does that, so, you know, that's fair enough. And let's have one more look then at the B12 and Tornado, which look fantastic. Yeah, there they go. Okay, let me head down to the front then, and we'll stop these, and then I'll move on, and we'll do some other stuff. I'll talk to some of you guys again, and we'll find out what people have been up to. So here we go then. First in is the B12 and the Tornado, and I'm going to take a bit of a risk and speed up the other engines. So I've sped up Spencer and Silverlink. Hopefully that won't cause any problems. You would think, you know, two Bachmann A4s running together wouldn't be a problem. But actually, the Spencer and Silverlink are completely different mechanisms. The Spencer mechanism was totally redesigned, and it wasn't. You would think maybe they would use the same mechanism, but no, they didn't. I suppose that's because they had to incorporate the eye mechanism into it. But yeah, it is completely different. But actually, they tend to run at the same speed as you saw just then. So that was pretty good. I was quite impressed with that. So thanks for those requests. That was absolutely awesome. And once again, I don't think I've done any of those before. None of those combinations before. Don't think I've even double-headed Tornado with a B12 before. Don't think I've done that, and I don't think I've had the 14XX to be a banker at the back of the train of an A1. Certainly not with Southern coaches. So yeah, thank you for those. That was very cool. Let me see what I've got to talk about next then. So yeah, let's thank everybody in the super chat. Shall we go through the master list today and thank everybody who's donated so far? Because it is important, you know, you guys keep me going with these super chats, and it means that I can, you know, keep doing what I love to do. And of course, while I've been running locos and things, I know some requests have come through and I didn't see them. So I don't want to be not thanking anybody. That wouldn't be right. So from the beginning then of today, we have Shine Ortis, Ollie Turf 26, David Smith, Ollie Turf 26 again, Nyrate Goal, UFG 2036, Luke Jones, Rob Humphreys, Nyrate Goal again, Lee Molson, Sideways 101100, that's the binary guy, we'll call him that from now on, the Imperial Diamond Spinosaurus. I love that name, brilliant name. It's one of the biggest mouthfuls I've ever had on the super chat, I think. Northern Soul Express, Laserjet, of course, the Ugly Duckman, Bruce B303, yeah, he was the one who was asking about spare parts. TrainFan28, Tom Jensen, Andy G13GLA, and Andrew Keeley, who's put just made it. So thank you to everybody who sent a super chat. As I say, if you want to send £5 or more, $5 or more, or whatever, I will run a request as I have been doing today. Just make sure you include that in the super chat. And of course, anybody who does send a super chat is going to be entered to win their very own Bullman, and there's a certificate somewhere that you'll get. There's only 10 of these that I'm making. This one's called Bilious and this one's number 2. Of course, my Bullman is number 1, but Bilious is number 2. And I'm going to be giving him away next week, so you've only got one more week to go before he gets given away, and he's going on the final 20,000 subscriber stream. So hopefully that'll be exciting. But thank you to everyone who has super chatted so far. You're all very kind, and I couldn't do this without you. So thank you very much. Okay, so people have been asking for this. This is something that I did quite a lot last series before Christmas, but it's not something that I've done very much of this year. Basically, it's Snupps, right? You remember Snupps? It's that website where you share pictures of your, well, anything really, but people with me were sharing pictures of trains and things, and I was showing them on the live streams last year, and this year I've always had Snupps open so that if I had a little bit of time to spare during the stream, I would go over and have a look. But as it turned out, I never had time. The streams were always so jam-packed full of people getting in touch. I never got a chance. So today I'm going to show you a little bit of that. Let me find where I need to be here. I need to find the screen capture. Here we go. And so here we are in Snupps, and there are loads of people on here now. Every time I log in, there's loads and loads of new activity. So let's take a look at some of this. There's Andrew Keeley's stuff, by the way. He's showing an LMS IVAC 4MT by Bachmann, it looks like. And, well, you wouldn't expect that, would you? That looks like an A1 in the early BR. So just run an A1, so that's quite nice to see. Let's take a look at some of this activity then. Oh, in fact, that's not what I wanted to do, is it? No. Where do I go? Let's go to Explore. I think that's better. Is this what I wanted to do? Don't think so. Let's have another look at the feed then. Let's scroll down here and see if there's anybody else. This website doesn't look like it used to. I don't know if anybody's changed it. Oh, that's interesting. Right, let me go and look at some of the people that have followed me then, because at the moment I'm just going around like a headless chicken. Right, let's take a look at some of these then. So we've got Jack Atu. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Let's take a look. So he's got some engines on here. Look at these. Let's take a look at his tank engines category. Oh, nice. Oh, this one's a nice one. This is probably the pick of the litter, I would say, looking at those. So this is his Bachmann Standard 3MT, number 82021. Absolutely beautiful. And I think if you're going to have one of these, the BR Black, or the early BR Black, I should say, is really, really lovely. I think that's fantastic. So thank you for sharing those, Jack. I'm sure people will have loved seeing those. What have I gone and done now? I need to go back to my followers. Let's see who else. We have 10 Red 80. Let's see what he's got. He's got 8 shelves. Looks like he's got a record collection, so not quite what we're looking at today. But no, I don't have a problem with record collections or anything like that. Let's have a look at TJ then. Let's see what TJ's got. No, his is music as well. Oh, I'm not being very lucky, am I, picking these? Let's see if we can find some more trains. See if I can see anyone with train on the picture. There we go. Here's one. CJ Sadistic Whiskers. What are sadistic whiskers? Right, let's take a look. He's got tender engines, so let's look at some of these. So he's got a weathered 9F. That looks fantastic. It says he bought it for £47. I think I got decently lucky. Yeah, I'll say so. £40 for any 9F is really good. There's Tornado again in BR Blue. That's cropping up quite a bit today, isn't it? And let's see, the Mallard in BR Green. Yeah, we all love that one. And of course he's got, is this going to be a V2? Yeah, I thought it was a Flying Scotsman to start with, but no, there's definitely only 2 wheels at the front there. So that's awesome. Thank you very much for that. Let's budge back. Let's do one more, shall we? Giffield Junction. That sounds very train related. He is more interested in diesels and electrics, it looks like. He's got quite a lot of coach and wagon photos. Let's see his diesel then. There's only one in here. But, oh, that's a nice photo though, don't you think? So this is a Bachmann Class 66 with Highland Stag. Don't know what that means. Oh, I suppose that must be one of the decals on it. Can we see the stag? Oh yeah, there it is. I think that must be it. So yeah, that's very, very cool. Thank you for sharing that with me. And yeah, we'll look at Snupps again next week if there's time. But yeah, there's really so much to go on there. It's I guess I don't get a chance to show everybody. But nonetheless, hopefully you enjoyed seeing that. Okay, so let's have another little chat then. Let's see what everyone's up to. Amy Jean says, I don't know what else to do. Well, you might as well watch the stream then. How about that? I'm confused as to what's going on, says Junior. Well, as I said, that was just a little look at Snupps. It's a website which lets you share collections and things. As you saw on there, people were sharing record collections. You could share anything you like. I know people share clothes and trainers and that sort of thing. But in our circle, we tend to share pictures of people's collections, trains and things. So that's what that was all about. Adam Rushton says, hi Sam. Hi Adam, hope everything's going well for you. And Sammy B Videography, sorry, he says, it's good to see so many people in chat that went to the SVR Gala. Yes, it's great. I hope you all had a good time. I was a little bit jealous, I admit. But yes, I did a bit of a shout out to the SVR Gala today. So everybody do an in-chat cheer if you were there and we'll see how many people were. But yeah, a lot of people were there. I've had messages about it all day. So it must have been a good do. Stephen Hill says, shout out please. Yes, Stephen's been in touch about the live streams quite a bit, so there you go, Stephen, glad I spotted you there. ECML man says shout out please. There you go. Yeah, I think you've been asking as well, so that's good. Harry Todd Hunter says, hi Sam, I just got back from the Severn Valley Railway Steam Gala. I've had a great time. So yeah, that's somebody else. What I also wanted to do was, if you've got any questions you want to ask me during this section, feel free to. You can ask anything you like. If you want to ask stuff about me, that's fine too. I know a few people were asking whether they could do that. If you want to ask anything about the Hattons visit that I did on Wednesday, feel free to. I wouldn't mind answering questions about that. Mr. Mike says, hi Sam, can I have a shout out please? There you go. Intercity125125 says, do you have Engage? No, I don't have any Engage right now. I've been like this as to whether or not I'm going to buy some and try it. I'm thinking I might one day, so if that's something you want to see, then sure. But right now, I'm just in 00 gauge. That's all I do. Toads on Ice says, can I have a non-shout out? A non-stout out. I don't know what that means, but I guess you meant a shout out, so there you go. And Tim Condrup says, hi Sam, I'm getting soon the Backman Emily, her coaches, and hopefully I'll get Donald, the twin brother, when he's back in stock. I can't wait to get him. Donald is missing his brother. Okay, so you managed to get one and not the other. That's not good. Mr. Mike says, please shout out. UFG2036 says, have you seen Lego trains? Actually, Lego trains were the first model trains I ever got to drive. One of my distant relatives had one in their loft, and when I was very young, I played with it. So that's the first time I actually got to drive a little toy train. So I always remember that. I don't know why, really. I really want to get the Flying Scotsman for my HO layout, says Alex Scott. That's fantastic to hear. And Rob Humphreys says, can you please do a shout out to Imogen Humphreys, age 3. She's cross that her brother had a shout out and she hasn't. Oh, that's okay, Rob. Sorry about. You could have just asked. You didn't have to donate more. But thank you very much, Rob. That's very kind of you. And Imogen, sorry about that. I didn't mean to show favouritism there. But you're always very welcome. We don't have very many girls come to watch these train channels. So that's great to hear. Thank you very much for coming to watch. Mallard4468 says shout out. Catherine Daly says shout out. And can you give Lavers454 a shout out, says ECML man. Yes, of course I can. And Mr. BNFS Train says Lego trains can be really expensive. Yeah, I've noticed that actually. I thought a few years ago about getting some, but I didn't in the end because of the price. UFG2036, what do you think of Tyco? From what I've seen, they look really, really good. I've never owned any Tyco stuff, but if I spot any for a good price, I will definitely try some, I think. I thought I'd show you this as well. This is what I got, one of the things from the Hattons visit. This is one of the crew that you put in the P-Class, and Hattons have actually developed their own crew to put in here, and they're actually quite a lot more detailed than the ones you would get in from Hornby, for example, Bill and Ben as they're known. So yeah, these are really, really nice. I don't know whether they're 3D printed or not, but they're highly detailed. You've still got to paint them, so that's why they're red, if anyone was wondering. But yeah, they've actually based them on real, I think they said they talked to some people who actually drive the Barclays and the P-Class to find out exactly what kind of pose you would be standing in the cab, and this is some of them. So this is suitable for the Southern version, I think, and the SECR version, but they've got others which are suitable for more modern ones. I suppose that's to do with the outfits and things that they've got on. But yeah, that was very cool, and I thought I'd show you that just for something of interesting. Mr. BNSF Train says Tyco has good rolling stock, but their locos can wear out easily. Oh, okay, I'll bear that in mind. We see quite a bit of that, don't we? And let's have another one then. Congratulations on your 20k. This is Society of Young Model Enthusiasts. He says, congratulations on your 20k, and I love your videos. Please can you carry on making more and keep my afternoon entertainment going? Yes, absolutely, no problem at all. I'll do my best to keep making videos for you, as long as you promise to keep watching them, of course. Okay, so we're getting towards the end now, but I think we've still got time to run some more requests. So let me find out who else has been asking for them, and we'll find out who's next. So the last one I did was Nyrate Goal. There we go. Sorry, I always get that name wrong. I'm not trying to be offensive. It's just I'm not very good at pronouncing things. So yeah, there we go. So the next one I think was Sideways 10110. So I'll just call you Sideways. So I don't have to write all that binary down. Binary man. He wants to see Percy. Yeah, that's all right. With a mix of 3 or 4 small coaches. Okay, I suppose you mean those little four-wheeled ones, four-wheelers. I think the little red ones that I ran last time with an LMS brake. Yeah, that's okay. I can do that. I love that LMS brake. The next one was, let's see, the Ugly Duckman. Duckman, who's been a very big supporter of me, by the way, so thank you very much for that. He's always sending me super chats, it seems, so thank you for that. He wants to see the Fairburn tank with a few blood and custard. Yep. Plus blood and custard. Yeah, that won't be a problem. And is there any more? Well, Andy G13GLA says £2. Can you feature the Hogwarts Express? Well, normally it is £5 or more to do this, but I guess that's all right. We'll let you off with that one. So the Hogwarts Express. Yeah, no problem, I'll do that. And everybody, of course, thank you very much for all your support. So I'm not going to make you sit through another break because I think you'd all toss yourself out the window. So, oh my goodness me, this is going to take a while. But hey ho, let's give it a try. So is there any rolling stock I can still use here? Shall I do something really weird? Just to save a bit of time, I will leave the Southern coaches on and let the Hogwarts Express pull those. Yeah, I know that's a bit sacrilegious really, isn't it? Because she always pulls red coaches, but I suppose it's quite a nice idea to run her with something else. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to cheat a little bit, try and save a bit of time by backing Spencer and Silverlink into this siding. There's the siding. I'm turning the camera to face it so that you can see it if it derails, because these Pullmans are quite famous for their derailments on points and things. So let's try that. Oh, nasty. Right, okay, so in doing that, actually, I haven't saved much time, have I? But let's see if I can fix this. And actually, there was such a lot of force there that Spencer's tender has derailed, but I don't think that's in shot at the moment, is it? Okay, I think we're back. Are we? You know, I think it's going to be easier just to push and see what happens. Now, I think one of them's still off, but we'll try and push through it. And I'll deal with that after the stream's ended. Oops, Spencer's off. Oh, come on, Spencer. Don't you like double heading with Silverlink? Tell you what, I'm just going to give him a push. Hopefully nothing will get broken here. There we go. A little bit messy that, in fact the point managed to close, but hopefully that will be out the way. I'll just make sure Silverlink isn't going to get clipped there, and I apologise to any... In fact, let's take Silverlink off. I don't like us sitting like that. Looks a bit uncomfortable. Let me try and disconnect the tender. Come on. Oh, there we go. It's all come off. There we go. So, Spencer, you got your wish. You're on your own now. Let me put that to one side. Okay, well, I don't know whether that actually did save any time or not. I don't think it did really, did it? But never mind. And okay, then I'm going to go ahead and follow through with this. So let's put Wool Winder somewhere else. And I mustn't forget to take off the 14XX tank engine, who's coupled to the back of this train, because she'll be quite unhappy if the Hogwarts Express starts going, because she's a very fast engine. And I think the 14XX might be a bit swept off her feet by that. So let me nab that. There we go. So now the Southern coaches are just free to move, which is fine. Ready for the Hogwarts engine, and then I will grab Tornado. In fact, both of these have separate tenders, so I can put the tenders out the way. There we go. Pop those up here. Blimey, we've gotten through quite a lot of engines today. I don't know how many that is, but that's 6 just with this lot. Put those somewhere safe. I love that BR Blue Tornado. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, let me grab these teaks then. Oops, let's try not to derail the Southern coaches while I'm at it. That would not be good. Okay, I'll just move those out of shot for you. Somewhere where I won't stand on them. Okay, so let's deal with this Southern train first then. And as I say, I'm going to put the Flying Scotsman on with her. The Flying Scotsman? No. Not the Flying Scotsman, the Hogwarts Express. Now I've just got to find out where she is. She's actually over here. Here we go, and it's been ages actually, I think, since I've run the Hogwarts engine. She's actually quite an old one, and really it's supposed to be a Hull class, isn't it? It was Alton Hall in the Harry Potter films that played the engine, but actually Hornby produced it as a castle class for some reason. Not really sure why. I don't know whether it was confusion or whether it was just easier for them, but that's what happened. So she's not running a little while, so I hope she'll be okay. But yeah, she seems to be. So I'll just take those out the way while I figure out what's next. So the next one was, well, Percy with 3 of those, 3 or 4, I think he said, 3 or 4 of the small red coaches. So I'll do that, but let me first grab Percy. Where are you, Percy? Show yourself. Here he is. So there's Percy. We want 3 or 4 of the little red LMS coaches. So let me grab some of those. Now, I don't know whether this is recreating anything from Thomas and Friends. It doesn't ring any bells with me, but obviously I'm no expert. But if it does look like anything that happened in the TV series, or I suppose in any of the books, then let me know. But I think it was last week I did Donald and Douglas in a train where they were facing away from each other. With a green coach in between, and apparently, if anybody didn't see this in the comments, that was when Donald and Douglas were clearing snow, I think. It was snowy on the Sodor apparently, and they did that so that they could clear snow off the line. So yeah, I was asking last week whether it was something that really happened in the show, and apparently yes it was. So yes, that's what happened. I think I did actually explain that during last week's show. Someone got in touch and told me that, but just in case you didn't see that bit, yeah, that's what happened. So hopefully that's okay for you. I think that's what you asked for pretty much. And then we've got one more, which was from the Ugly Duck Man, who wanted to see the lovely Fairburn tank. And she's actually right on the other end of the shelf. So I'm going to have to stretch across here so as not to pull the microphone cable out. And this is a beautiful tank engine. One of my new favourites for sure. LMS tank engine. Designed by Fairburn, as you might expect. Tell you what I'm going to do, I'm just going to move Percy out of the way so that I don't end up derailing his train, because that would not be fun. So there we go, that should be plenty. Let me pop her on. Actually, I managed to get her on the track pretty spot on, apart from the back bogie. Okay, and he wanted some blood and custards, so I will grab a couple of handfuls of blood and custard coaches and pop those on. Hang on a second. I'm sorry I'm doing a lot of moving around. I apologise if this isn't making for very interesting viewing, but it gives you an idea of the sort of thing I have to do behind the scenes really on these videos. Alright, so here we go. So there's a restaurant car. There's the brake, which I'll put at the back. Now a lot of people say you don't need to put brakes at the back, they can go anywhere in the train, but it's force of habit, I'm afraid. I tend to just do it automatically, but when I remember I will put brakes sort of midway down trains. And let's see what that looks like. But there we go. I've bought 4 of them, so there we go. Put that one on 2, and hopefully then the Fairburn tank won't have any trouble with those on Gordon's Hill. Let's see. Oops, forward you go then, love. There we go. Alright, that's perfect. So let's get Percy started, and out of shot now, the Hogwarts Express. So again, thank you very much for those requests. We'll have a little bit of a running session with those, and then I guess I'll have to think about signing off for the night. But anyway, here we go. Let's go to the church. Oh, we've just missed the Hogwarts Express. Hello. There we go. There goes the Hogwarts engine. And if I jump round here, oh, that's a shame. We just missed those two. We missed the Fairburn and not Edward, Percy. Let's have another look. There they go. So Percy and the Fairburn tank seem to be running pretty much side by side, which is quite interesting. Let's see how long they can keep that up. I bet they'll get split up in the end. But actually they look like they're going at pretty much the same speed, which is cool. There we go. What an unlikely friendship that is. The Fairburn tank and Percy. Very, very different engines, of course, but you know, we can't judge them if that's their friendship. Oh, I didn't realise those coaches were still in shot at the back there, but never mind. Andy G13GLO says, way to go, Imogen. Charlie Young says, I'll be on next time for next stream, but I'm going to leave. Bye, I'll try to be on the next stream. Okay, Charlie, no problem. Hope you had a nice time. DMHD Train says, to the everywhere Discord. What is this Discord server all about? Oh, I guess Mark is trying to promote his Discord server, is he? Alright, fair enough. And Gonolds1259 says, there doesn't seem to be any moderation on this channel. There you go, Mark. That should be a good hint for you to pick up your game. Shine Autis says, what do you plan to do with the Oakworth station model for the layout? I haven't actually done anything with that yet. The plan was for me to stick it over there on that platform that you can see just there. I haven't done that yet, but I'm going to. Well, actually, stupidly, I packed it back away with the train pack, so I'll have to get that back out again and get the station out. But yes, I will do that. It'd be nice to get her going again. Going again? No, it's a station. It doesn't go anywhere. But yeah, as you say, it's a nice station. It's a shame to keep it boxed up. So yeah, I will get it out and I will have it out on display. I suppose it'll look better than my paper buildings. So anyway, there's the Fairburn, and Percy actually managed to keep up with him, which I'm impressed with. I'll just speed up the Hogwarts Express, who is actually a very, very speedy engine. Here she comes now. Make sure I'm out of the way. Whoa. Slow yourself down. There we go. So thank you for those requests. I don't know if I've got any more in, but to everybody who sent a super chat, whether you left a request or not, thank you very, very much. I will just double check who sent some, just in case anybody got missed out. See if we've got any new ones. So yeah, we saw Rob. Joseph Ashford says, have a look at my Snupps page. Okay, Joseph, we'll do that quickly. And Nirate Goal says, it's fine, just say Nirate, it's easier. Not offensive, made up completely from train and Lego backwards. Oh yes, of course. All right, so let's do Joseph's little request then very briefly. Let me bring back the screen capture. Let's go to Snupps. So what was your name, Jack? Oh, I've gone and forgot already. It was, sorry, Jack. Joseph Ashford. Let me see if I can find him. Joseph Ashford. If your name isn't Joseph Ashford on here, oh yes it is. Phew. Okay, look at all this lot. Okay, let's have a look at his Bachmann Thomas and Friends range then, very quickly. So he's got his Thomas there, just like mine. Oh, that's a great picture, by the way. I love the background of the train packs. That's very cool. There's Edward. And Henry. I don't have Henry, so that's awesome. Wow, his face looks absolutely terrifying. I don't know if I'll get Henry now. And Gordon. I do actually have the Bachmann Gordon. I've still got to review him. So, yeah, that's that. And, of course, there's James. Oh, I like the James. That's got an interesting face. So, yeah, that's cool. Thank you very much for that, Joseph. I did have a quick look at your Snupps account there. So, there we go. I don't know what else there is to go through, really. I will give you a little bit of a clue for next week. So, next week, I've got another Thomas & Friends unboxing from the Bachmann range. So, you'll have to guess which one that is. I won't give any more clues away. And then on Saturday, I've got quite an unusual review. I had this planned last week, but then the Hatton's visit came along, so I postponed it. But yes, something I've never done before. It's a bit of a technology review, put it that way. It wasn't a brilliant item that I reviewed, but it's not bad and it's pretty cool, so hopefully you'll enjoy seeing it. But yeah, that's enough hints for next week. For now then, I'm going to start signing off, so I'll just answer a few more of these chat people. Harry Todd Hunter says, Sam, give me tendies, okay, don't know what that means, fair enough. Thomas Train 9025 says hi. Jack Pryor says hi Sam, how are you? And Harry Todd Hunter says give me 10. What do you mean, 2 high fives? I don't know. Damn Daniel says please can I have a shout out Sam? There you go, of course you can, no problem. And Cameron Ingram says, oh, all right, fair enough. Anyway, folks, thank you very, very much for all your support tonight. It's been a really nice evening, really. Just a little bit laid back, no reviews to do, nothing really to read out, just some good old engines running, and I hope you enjoyed seeing that. Let's have one more shot of those then. There we go. Again, some really, really interesting requests. I'm doing stuff that I've never really done before. I don't think Percy's ever run those tiny coaches before, and I've certainly never run the Hogwarts Express with some southern coaches, so that was a really interesting thing to do. The Ugly Duckman says, looking forward to the week coming, and I'll see you soon. Night all. All right, night. See you. Have a good evening. And as always, next week is going to be my 20,000 subscriber special stream, so if you want to do something special for that and send it to me, it doesn't matter if you've already got something up on the wall. You can send something else, and we'll do a bit of a show and tell. So I don't know what you want to do. You might want to make some artwork, or you take a special photo. It's up to you, but you can send it to my email address and I will show it during next week's stream. Junior says goodbye. Catherine Campbell says, can you shout me out in your next video? I don't tend to do shout outs in videos anymore, but there's one anyway for you. And Harry Laka says, a black train with Pullman coaches. Oh, that sounds good. There's a lot to choose from though with black engines. Norbert says, bye bye Sam, Mark and Cameron from Texas. Amazing that we've got people from Texas watching. 8-Bit Megablade, nice to see you here again. He says, bye Sam. Todd Hunter says, I didn't get my attendees. Well, you let me know what attendee is and I might be able to help. Gonalds, yeah, it is Gonads, sorry, not Gonalds. I don't know where that came from. 1259 says, keep up the good work. And SDGR7F88 has just popped in. He says, congrats on 20,000 subs. Thank you very much. It's still unbelievable to me, really, that we've been able to make it to that. But as I say, I've only got you people to thank for that. It's not really me. All I do is put the videos out there. So thank you all for that. Still next time from Nottingham says Owen Winters. David's Train says, bye Sam. Garage Gamers Official says, did I miss it? Well, pretty much, but luckily this is all recorded, so you can go back afterwards and watch it. And Alex Scott says, I'm from Wisconsin. Hope you have a nice time over in Wisconsin. It's very different to over here, I imagine. We've got a lot of snow right now. And GWR Will says, goodbye, I'll tell you about the London Festival. Okay, that sounds interesting. And at the last minute, Nyrate Gold says a super chat. Bye, hope to see you next week. So again, thank you everybody. Thank you for your support tonight. And as always, if you're one of my 20,000 subscribers, thank you so much. I think that's all I've got to say for you tonight. So I will get ready to sign off. As always, hope you have a nice week, and I will see you all very, very soon with some more videos. All right, thank you for watching. Hope you had a nice night, just like I did. I've really enjoyed it today. I love doing requests for you, and you know, it's great fun to see what people come up with. So anyway, I'll stop rambling on now. Thank you all for your support, and I will see you all very soon. Cheers, everybody. Well, that's the end of today's live stream, so thanks to everyone for joining me, and I really hope you all enjoyed it. As always, if you've got any ideas for future streams, I'd be very glad to hear them, so feel free to post them down below in the comments. Sam's Trains Live will be back next Sunday night at 5 PM UK time, so until then, look after yourselves, and I'll see you during the week with some more new videos. Cheers everybody.